What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Storm Circus live video. So everyone over at Branded, I know that this is normally the Branded from the ground up, but we're going to be just going back in. It is a new, I guess not a new month, but it is a new ban list that dropped. You know, this deck didn't get hit, thankfully, but there are little cards that we have to pay attention to, you know, with Tempai being in the meta as well as Melodious, and some other cards. You know, we saw Snake Eyes doing a bit of a debuff. This deck's still really good. I think it's also really good in the format right now as well, with Tempai running around. So before we dive into like, comment, subscribe, I want to show you guys a deck profile, and yeah, just kind of base it up. So we are still playing the 3 Aluber, very, very basic. You want to be able to play 3 of these just as your search. We are playing the 2 Quem, so this is really important in the grind game, as well as, you know, if you get Nib, for example, you know, you can summon this out a lot of the times from one of your cards in a graveyard during the end phase. It's also just really important to have as well. We are playing the Nadir Servant in this build, so, you know, having another search target for it is really good. This card's honestly crazy. Like, Ghost Ogre is in the format, so yeah, I guess you will be seeing this get Ghost Ogre a little bit more. But that's just definitely the right play. This card just is insane. Does so much. Bringing back your Mirror Jades, bringing back your Mercuriers, whatever you want to. You know, people tend to forget the Mercurier is on the field as well, which is really cool. So just kind of remember that. Then we are playing the 3 Albaz, as well as the double copies of Cartesia. And to round it off, we're playing the 2 Albion, and then the 1 Mercurier. So this ratio, people are like, well, this is a little bit weird. Why are you playing the 2 Albion? The 2 Albion is for the reason of, like, this is a 40 card deck. If you're playing over 40, you know, you could bump up to 44, I think, and play this at 3. You definitely could, but I didn't want to see it all the time in the 40. You know, it is amazing to start with, but a lot of the times I'll end up seeing it already, and if I already have a copy of the Albaz, you know, I would rather see this than the Albaz, but I don't want to be breaking on cards that don't really do very much. Therefore, it's only at 2 because I felt like I was clogging up on it at 3 a lot. You know, it is a good discard target as well that you can activate, but a lot of the times it doesn't really do very much. It does not treat it as Albaz in the hand as well, which is kind of important. You know, if you have it in the graveyard and you activate, let's say, for example, Branded in red, add this back, it's no longer considered Albaz, so it's kind of important there. I guess it is important to note also for Guardian Chimera, if you have like another Albaz in the hand, which is really cool, but other than that, it's just like kind of just up to each other. The guys who, you know, want to choose what you want to play, and I don't really only want to play 2 of it. Then, you know, for our secondary, we are playing the 1 Mercurier, the 1 Lubellion, the 1 Soronir, alongside the 1 Gimmick Puppet. You know, Gimmick Puppet is still in the format. Maybe next list we will see it get hit because of the fact that the Gimmick Puppet cards are actually coming out. And then after, you know, we have multiple decks starting the Gimmick Puppet, I feel like this deck is going to kind of get hit, you know, is the generic card there. But yeah, so, you know, Soronir being nice. I do want to mention that we're not playing High Spirits, but if you were playing High Spirits, you could bump up the Soronirs and play other cards as well. You know, this being a really crazy card right now, as well as this being a nice little hand trap. It does hit almost every single deck, which is pretty cool. I guess it doesn't hit the Tempai, but nothing really does. Now for the spells, we are playing the triple Branded Fusion, of course. We're still playing this card at 3. Why wouldn't you? The 3 Branded Opening, we love Italy. The 1 Branded in red and the 1 Branded Lost. I really do want to bump up Branded red to 2 here. You know, I do enjoy that probably the most with the 60 card variant and as well as the 45 card. But like if I could put 1 more card in the deck, it'd be a 2nd Branded in red. This card's absolutely insane. You know, always being able to play it, it just feels really nice. Then we are also playing the triple copies of the Fusion Deployment, and then also triple copies of Nadir Servant. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, you shouldn't play the Nadir Servant this, you shouldn't play the Nadir Servant that. You could play this at 2 if you wanted to, and bump up the Branded red to 3. I might consider doing that. But this card just lets you get so much, you know, being able to just send like a copy of Albion if you don't want to go for your Albion on the Fusion Summon, if you already have the Lost in hand. It just like gives you a little bit more. You could play the High Spirits, but unfortunately in 40, the problem with High Spirits over Nadir Servants is that you're not going to be able to get the full use of Branded and High Spirits by discarding a good target, like either the Albion or the copy of Soronir there. So definitely not the greatest. Therefore, we're going to be sticking to Nadir Servants, and it's just really generic, to be honest. Then for the other engine parts, we are playing the double thrust, the 1 talents, and the triple droplets, the 1 Call of the Rave, and the Retribution, as well as the copy of Fusion Duplication. So if you guys have been following the channel for a little bit now, you will notice this is very standard for me. I am a big fan of the doubles, Thrusts and the Albions in a deck because I don't want to see it all the time. I was playing 2 talents previously. The second talent has now moved to the side. Not because there's less hand traps in the format, because I wanted to play the double Albion. That's really the truth. I could, I suppose, cut a copy of the Nadir Servant and then play double talents. But right now I'm just testing that out. And Thrust being able to add the duplication. So that's kind of my theory behind having the talents there, the double talents beforehand, was okay, well, if you have Thrust, you already have talents, you can go into duplication. If not, you can add the talent. And this is card's never really bad to see as well. Being able to rip a card from the hand. Call of the Grave is very standard, and then Retribution and Duplication. You're playing these cards, you want to be able to, and the Thrust is really good, but if you don't get hand traps, then Thrust is just absolutely dead, and you're finding yourself discarding it. And then Droplets is just really good this format because of the fact that you don't have that many flex spots. Your flex spots are really just looking at these 6 cards, and I suppose you can also count the Nadir Servants as flex spots as well. But you don't have that many flex spots, so wanting to maximize your cards, even being able to activate the thrusts and then having a droplet, being able to send the thrust that you're activating can be really impactful as well. And just stuff like that just really, really important. And then you can just also discard cards from the hand, which do come up as well. Hitting either copy of Sorin or something like that can be really beneficial. But yeah, we want to max or minimize it down to 40 as much as possible. There are a lot of lines that are complex. People oh, Brand is a very simple deck to play. But this deck does have a lot of lines where you just can play through it. Quem and Cartesia are probably one of the most, I don't want to say complicated cards, but you're able to play through so much with just those 2 cards themselves, just having nice interactions and stuff like that. Just absolutely incredible. Now to follow up for our extra deck, we are playing the 2 Mirror Jades. I think this is very standard. You do not need to play any more of it. Please play 2. You can debate that you want to only play 1. But if you're only going to play 1, you're going to have some trouble in the grind game. The 2 Albion, the 1 Rebellion. This card is absolutely crazy, this format. You guys are going to be seeing a duel tomorrow where I'm playing against Tempai. I hope I don't, or actually no, but it's going to be later on. You're going to see a duel where I play against Yubel. I do make a little bit of a misplay in the game 2, I believe. I Baldrake send the Yubel that was just summoned out. I completely forgot that it had to be an extra deck monster, so it's my bad. But yeah, Lubellion's absolutely crazy. But later on this week, I was going to be seeing a duel versus Tempai, where actually Guardian Chimera, or no, that's a Yubel duel. Anyways, I ended up Guardian Chimera them, and then I summon out Lubellion, put back the Guardian Chimera to summon out Mirror Jade, and then I go into Guardian Chimera once again by adding back the Retribution. Crazy play. But Lubellion's a very important card that you have to use to resource your materials, or I guess manage your resources. So just kind of important to note that this card helps you out a lot once you understand how this card really works. Then for the other cards, we're playing the Albion, the Rinbrum, and then the Titaniclad. So we're not playing Luluwalith, so we have to be very focusing on this. A lot of the times with the Nadir Servant, you're going to send Luluwalith and then search a copy of Quem. And then, during the end phase, Luluwalith will be able to summon back or summon up a Cartesia from the deck. And while that is very good, yes, a lot of the times, you want to just be able to summon out something else completely different. So sending a copy like this, and then being able to summon out the copy of the Quem dump either the Cartesia or the Albaz, and then you can activate this, put the copy of Branded in red, set it to the field. You have your plays there, being able to add back that copy of Albaz, banish it in the Quem, you go into a Sanctifier right away if you already have it, and stuff like that. Those are very important generic stuff. But this being able to be dumped off the copy of the of Mirror Jade and then summoning out the Quem if you already get hit with a copy of Nib can be very impactful as well. So definitely kind of play around it. And of course, just being able to summon back Albaz is really cool. And Sanctifier is not banned. Ha ha ha! Everyone laugh at that. And then for the other cards, we were playing the 2 Grand Guignol. You definitely want to play 2 of these. It is very generic and standard now to play 2. It helps you in the grind game. It helps you going second. It helps you going first. Wanting to give up more consistency. Just crazy. We're playing the 1 Queritus. We are playing the time card. You could cut this for anything else. But I really do like it in the 40 card build. You don't really need to play Proskinian. Then we are playing the Guardian Chimera, of course, as well as the Draco Spelly. And this is actually the card that's going to help us deal with Tempai. We're actually playing Borrowed Furious. So what's really cool about this card, if you guys have not read it, is it's a pop. So alongside your Mirror Jade, if you have both these cards, you essentially just beat Tenpai going first. You summon this out, and you're simply sitting on this. If they try to go Battle Phase, you can banish one of their cards. If they have the whatever it's called, the Sanjin Kaiman, you can just pop whatever they summon. It's like, okay, well, you just dealt with 2 cards on the field, and like chances are they don't have another extender to summon out their bodies. Therefore, you're going to be winning that one. Because the deck does struggle going second. Well, I guess no. Tenpai struggles at going first. It's very easy for our board to break the Tenpai board, but this deck has a really good time versus Tenpai by being able to set up a copy of just singularly Mirror Jade, and like Mirror Jade just deals so much with the Tenpai deck, which is really just good for us. But yeah, it's also really good against like these Snake Eyes. A lot of the times you don't want to go for this, of course, but like just if they're playing any Bystials, you can even just go into that. If you want to play Super Poly, which you can on the side, change up like the extra deck a little bit. Probably like drop a Masquerade and then playing a copy of Garua or something like that. But there's definitely lots of options that we can play. I don't think that Super Poly is really good this format myself. There's not really any good cards to go into. But I really am looking forward to play this deck a lot more. I am on Melodious right now, so I guess this is going to be a little bit less branded content for now. But I'll definitely be back on it at some point. Once I do that, I will be showing off a side deck more consistently. I don't really want to just show you guys anything kind of related thrown together for my local scene. But yeah, you pretty much have to play like extra Bystials and then obviously stuff to hit the back row and stuff like that. Regardless, hope you enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for some more content like this. And let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about branded this format? We saw Anti-Spell being hit to 1, therefore definitely helping out the deck a lot. But I want to know what you guys think. And don't forget to stay safe. Peace.